Today, we want to talk about collaborative apps. My name is Marcus Ruyle. I am a modern work lead with Lorem Apply, and really we wanted to really explain what collaborative apps are and why they matter. And so before we get into what they are, let's talk about why they should be on all of our minds if you don't already know about them, right? So digital transformation still remains the number one priority for CIOs. And in fact, 85% of companies are currently, in the last year, have been focusing on digital transformation, especially around employee experience and collaboration. And 67% of companies have accelerated their automation and artificial intelligence with workflows in the last year. And so it's a very relevant topic. And so again, what are collaborative apps? They're really applications that are accessed through the users within Microsoft Teams. And as we know, Teams has really become the hub for everything collaboration and the hub for really many of the workflows that people do on a day-to-day basis, right? And so what collaborative apps do is really extends that power of Teams and allows us to bring very specific use cases and workflows inside of Teams that allow people to do their day jobs more efficiently, saving time and doing more with less. And one of the beauties of collaborative apps are that because they are accessed through Teams, they inherit all the security permissions, all the goodness that you already have controlled in your M365 environment without doing the extra work that you'd have to do with a pure custom app outside of Teams. So one of the things that for collaborative apps, a lot of people haven't necessarily heard about them, but what you don't realize is that, or what they may not realize is that there's a ton of collaborative apps that are very popular today. And through the Teams store, you'll see a lot of these names that are probably recognized, plus hundreds and hundreds more that are available today through Teams. In fact, we've seen nearly 170% increase in the number of apps available through Teams in the last 12 months. So really, when we think about collaborative apps, what are they really? Well, everyone, for the most part, has probably heard of Power Platform. If you haven't, it's really a collection of Power tools, Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, Dataverse, and AI Builder that Microsoft makes available across M365 and Dynamics. And the power of these is that once you build one of these applications, you can bring it into Teams, make it available to all your users, whether it's within a specific Teams channel, broadly available across all Teams, or within chats. So let's talk a little bit more about some of the different types of collaborative applications that are out there. So as I mentioned, Tabs apps, a lot of you have seen those. There's both first-party and third-party tab apps that are available within a channel. Bots, same thing. There are many different ways, different types of bots out there, and you can also build custom bots using both Power Platform and the bot framework within Azure. There's messaging extensions, task modules, in-meeting apps, right? Ways to extend and customize meetings for your specific organization. There's webhooks, connectors. We already talked about Power Platform, and a lot of these apps tap into the power of the Microsoft Graph, which is the data structure underneath M365 that allows you to do all kinds of cool stuff. In fact, Bill is going to be giving a demo of one of these applications in a bit. So, but again, really, this is about providing options to your users and really customizing those end user experiences, again, to make your employees more productive, happier, whether they're frontline workers, whether they work back of office information workers, there's an app for them. So let's talk a little bit about hybrid work. So again, hybrid work is something that is on almost every CIO's mind today, right? Coming out of COVID, there's very many different types of scenarios, whether they're coming out of COVID, folks were coming back to the office, part-time, mid-time, full-time, or trying to manage the challenge of having a bunch of remote employees that they had hired over the pandemic that they're now trying to bring into the fold and allow them to collaborate and communicate in a very seamless way with the folks that are in the office. And in fact, as part of this, really, companies are looking for ways to provide more flexible policies to attract and retain employees. And 81% of leaders today are in the process of adapting or changing those policies to optimize this approach. Also, the in-person collaboration culture to a hybrid environment is super important, right? So you want to provide those flexible work options, but how do you make it feel like they're actually part of the team and have the same connection as the folks that are there in the room during meetings, or whether you're working within a team or a group? 73% of employees care about this, and they really want to make sure that they have that opportunity if they're remote or if they're in the office to feel connected, right? And again, we've seen a 45% increase in weekly Teams chats per person. So what this tells you is that it's happening. People are collaborating, people are using Teams to provide that connected experience.